Greetings. My name is Levi Hales, and I'm here to educate you on the criminal justice system in France. This will be a basic overview. In France, the criminal justice system comes from Roman law and the criminal justice system that was used there. Similar to the United States and other European countries, the French system utilizes police, courts, and corrections programs to maintain law and order. We will discuss each of the parts of the criminal justice system so you understand how each works within that system. In France, the police are called Gendarmerie Nationale, and they are a national police agency that are made up of military men and women, sergeant rank or higher. They are the only police forces in France authorized to use and carry weapons. Take note that any uniformed police officer in France is authorized to stop you and demand identification documents, and you cannot refuse under French law. In addition, you do not have the right to remain silent, unlike the United States, for example, where we have the Miranda warning. If you are arrested and charged in France, you do not have the right, or you do have the right to have an attorney present. As in the United States, police have to see a crime being committed or have direct knowledge it was just committed in order to arrest a suspect for a crime without a valid arrest warrant, similar to our probable cause in the United States. You, as a private citizen, can arrest someone if you see them commit a crime in your presence under French law. If the police wish to search you, i.e. your car, house, effects, etc., outside of a search incident to an arrest, they must first obtain a search warrant from a judge. Under the court system, France has a civil law system. This means that they rely on statutory laws more than case laws, unlike the United States does. France is identified as a republic. There are two primary types of courts in France. There are the judicial and the administrative. The judicial is criminal and civil court actions. They cover those, while the administration covers public laws. The highest court in France is the Supreme Court of Appeals. There are 36 appeals courts in France, and there is one additional court system in France called the Constitutional Council, which reviews statutory laws, oversees national elections, and they have 9 justices. If you are arrested and charged in France, your trial will be before a judge, and you cannot enter a plea of guilty under French law prior to that hearing. You will have the right to appeal a conviction under French law, however. Your right to an attorney is present to assist you during the trial. For corrections, if you are convicted of a crime in France, you will be sentenced according to the nature of that crime. There are 5 types of prisons, and they are deemed sanitary institutions. There's the central house, the detention house, the stop house, penitentiary house, and the semi-liberty house. The central house is for sentences of 1 year or more in prison. Detention house is 1 year or more with a chance of rehabilitation of the inmate. The stop house is less than 1 year sentences, similar to a jail in the United States. Penitentiary house is a mix of less than 1 year and over 1 year with a chance of rehabilitation. And the semi-liberty house allows inmates to leave briefly for school, work, etc., but stay there overnight. In French prisons, they do offer parole and reductions in sentences if you behave while incarcerated. Sentencing guidelines are guided by the statutes themselves and their severity. More serious violations go to the more secure prisons, and less severe crimes go to the less secure facilities. Visitations are allowed for friends and family at the facilities. According to France, the prisons are sanitary. This definition is not clearly defined. It's unclear if they mean the prison is clean physically or if the prisoners are kept clean also. To conclude, to cover what we have discussed so far, you are free to move around in France as you desire. In order to do so, you must bring your identification documents, your passport, travel papers, etc. with you, and be prepared to provide these to uniformed police officers who request them. Remember, if you are detained or arrested, you do not have the right to remain silent while you're here in France. You do have the right to legal counsel. You will have a hearing before a judge, and you will not be allowed to enter a guilty plea prior to the hearing. You will have the right to appeal any decision in your trial. If you're convicted of a crime and sentenced, you will serve time in one of the prison types above based on the sentence you received. I hope this has helped to familiarize you with French law and ensure your stay in France will be enjoyable and trouble-free. Does anyone have any questions? questions. Thank you for attending. Have a great day.